It's only February, but we have an early front runner for Shoe of the Year in 2019. You already know what time it is. It's Dame time. What's good, guys? This is Chris from WearTesters.com. Welcome to the official WearTesters.com YouTube channel, the only YouTube channel regarding sneakers where you come for the review and stay for the conversation. Today we are taking a look at these guys right here. This is the Dame 5. These bad boys are freaking awesome. So keeping in line with Adidas's current basketball models is that they're using herringbone, and they're using it everywhere. They're using it everywhere from the next levels to the Hardens to the Provisions, the Dames, all that stuff. I think that that's fantastic. However, in my opinion, this is the best implementation of herringbone that we have seen so far. Simply because it's thick. It's all over the place. It's from heel to toe, which is great. It's been like that on all of their other shoes as well. But again, like I was saying, it's thick. It's widely spaced apart. That way, when you do play on those dirty floors, which, I mean, I'm just looking at mine right now, and they're not like super clean. They're not hella dirty, but they're not super clean either. And that way the dust doesn't easily cake up and get clogged on there like it did in the Hardens and the next levels where you would have to wipe and stuff like that on those dirtier surfaces. Another pro to this type of setup as well is the fact that it's more durable. It's firm rubber. It's going to last longer whether you're indoors or outdoors, which I think is a good thing. So if you are an outdoor hooper, this is going to be a viable option. You're not going to break the bank with the retail price of the shoe. And on top of that, you're actually going to get something that will last. Now, the overall performance to me, I thought was great. I used both of these at the same exact time. They both have slightly different translucence. This has got that what do you even call this? Like multicolored? Like, it's a super weird stuff. Normally, I'm not a fan of that. And then you just have a straight up translucent on these guys. I did not have any real issues other than the very, very, very first time that I played in them. For whatever reason, Adidas's shoes lately have been very slick on the first wear. I don't know why, but it takes a little bit of time to break through that, whatever film layer is on there. Afterwards though, these guys just gripped every floor that I was on, whether I was over at 24, over at the local high school, or even at the church league, which I missed this shot, but hey, it was a cool move, right? So yeah, I just thought that these things worked really well, and I have no real complaints about them. It's not the best traction I've ever had as far as like the Kobe 9s or the Air Jordan 28s, but it's pretty close. Now the cushion on these guys is bounce, something that if you have been playing in the Dame line for the past 4 models, you're already used to this stuff. This guy right here is much more plush than last year's, the Dame 4s. The Dame 4 I personally liked, but a lot of people actually complained that they were too low to the ground, especially in the forefoot, giving you almost a one-to-one court feel type of shoe, which again, some people liked, some people didn't. I personally didn't mind it, but this guy right here kind of get elevated just a little bit, so it adds a little bit more plushness, a little more bounce to your step, which is awesome. And on top of that, it is probably I wouldn't say the softest, because it doesn't reduce any court feel or playing time. Like, it's not going to slow you down at all. But at the same time, when you put these on from day one, you immediately, I remember when I first put them on, just on a try on, I was kind of surprised. I was like, yo, these are comfortable just straight away, when normally with bounce you got to break it in just a little bit. You can even feel that the EVA carrier that it's within is bouncier on the exterior and everything if you just press it with your fingers. So whatever they did with this mixture, it gives you just enough court feel that you are not going to be missing the previous models, but at the same time, it's giving you a ton more of that kind of bouncy feeling, which is awesome, especially because this is not Boost. Some people think that Boost is everything when it comes to basketball. Boost is great, don't get me wrong, but Bounce is my personal favorite. Probably Light Strike right before that stuff that was on the next levels, and then I would go with Boost as long as it's within an EVA carrier, a la the D-Rose 6. And also, just for anybody wondering, when I did take these outside, the Boost was enough, for me at least, on the outdoor courts. Sometimes, what was that shoe that we were playing in also? The Fly Trap 2? That was not enough. I immediately missed these things. Now, the reason why we have 2 pairs of shoes out here right now is because of the materials, and there are 2 different options. You have this mesh version with, it's shit. I just have to be as blunt as possible. This felt back here is garbage. I don't like it when any brand uses it. I really don't like it when they use it on the Kobe's, because I hold the Kobe shoe to a higher standard. It's okay a little bit because it's on the Dame. No offense to Dame, but his shoe is only $115. It's not like a $140 sneaker with felt on it. But still, I don't like felt on my sneakers. If I wanted felt on my shoes, I would go to kindergarten classes. I would take that felt and I would make my own I don't like this. Then we have this synthetic leather version right here. It's not the best synthetic leather. It definitely feels like synthetic leather. It's cheap, all that kind of stuff. Again, it's only 115 bucks, so kind of keep that in mind, but at the same time, it is what it is. Now, as far as performance of the materials go, that's why I was wearing both of them at the same time. I was kind of curious to see which one, maybe this would be a little bit more supportive than this guy right here. For whatever reason, they felt identical. There's not even much of a weight difference. They both weigh the same amount of total ounces, and then the point number afterwards is only off by a few, which is just weird to me. I don't know what's going on. You'd think that the synthetic leather one would be a little bit heavier, but it's not. They literally had no real difference on court. Once I laced up and I was playing, I didn't even notice that I was wearing two different shoes with two different materials. They just both worked, and they both worked well. Now the fit on the shoe is, we're back to like standard Adidas right here. I went true to size with the Booster Wear X, went true to size with the Harden Volume 3, I went true to size with the next levels. All of them fit me great. The Pro Vision, true to size as well. These guys right here, true size, not my jam. I wish that I would have had a half a size smaller. For whatever reason, they fit a titch too long, and on top of that, there's like a ton of volume above my toe, something that I just do not like whatsoever. The saving grace of the shoe though, the lockdown. The lockdown looks like nothing special. It's a standard regular throat and all that stuff, but inside there's more quilts in here than at your grandma's house, man. It's crazy. And when you lace these things up, they just kind of like suck you into the midfoot and draw you into the rear of the shoe, that even with that dead space and extra length in the toe that I absolutely hate, it wasn't a distraction whatsoever, which I think is awesome, and actually just a real testament to the overall lockdown and security of the sneaker, because normally when you have extra space in your shoe, you get that sloppy fit, and it's something that, at least for me, like playing on my toes and stuff like that, like I do notice it, and that's why I don't like it. This guy right here didn't notice it whatsoever. Like I said, I just was playing and I just played well in these shoes every time I did, and I really enjoyed them. I can only imagine how much nicer they'd be had they been half a size down. Now the support on the sneaker is phenomenal, like no joke. There's not anything crazy in the shoe that makes it super supportive. It's just the way that everything is designed and the way that everything moves well with the foot. The fit, first off, normally when you have that extra space and you have that dead space or volume above the toe, that kind of up everything as far as the support. You have a sloppy fit, the things just don't fit right, they don't move right, they don't support you in the way that they were intended to. However, like I was saying, the lockdown just kind of saved these things in that aspect. You do sit within the midsole just a little bit on both the rear and the front, so it cups your foot in, something that I wish most shoes did. A lot of shoes still don't do that for some reason. I just think that that's a good look all the way around. And then you have this TPU little support bar right there. It wasn't in the way, it wasn't anything crazy, it just did its job. It keeps you on the footbed just in case. I don't think that it was like a standout feature, but it is there. You have an internal heel counter as well. Does a great job. The thing that I think is the greatest aspect besides the overall lockdown of the support is the tooling. First off, it's flat, promotes a lot of stability. It's very wide in the forefoot and it's wide on both sides. It's wide on the lateral end as well as the internal medial side, something that you don't see on a lot of shoes actually. Normally you'll see it just on the lateral end for that lateral support. This guy right here, it kind of covers you on both ends. I haven't seen something like this or played in something like this since the old Ectio shoe, which if you've been rocking with us for a long time, you already know what we're talking about. If not, search it up. It's a funky looking sneaker. Go check it out. And when I wear stuff like this, I just have like an increased shooting percentage for some reason. I just have a lot of stability and extra stability in the toe area, which is where a shooter needs it. And I just really appreciate that aspect and design to the shoe overall. Again, as a shooter, I like being able to come off of a screen or just stop abruptly if needed and then pull up for a shot, and I'm always kind of like well balanced in the forefoot area of the shoe. And that pretty much takes care of it for the performance review on these bad boys right here. Again, this is the Adidas Dame 5. These are fucking awesome. I'm so happy because the Dame 4s was a hit or miss for some people. I think the Dame 5, as long as you get your correct size, you'll be good to go. Everything on these things I think is very well rounded, from, you know, the cheap ass materials to the way that they fit your foot if you get your correct size, like I was saying, and then the tooling, the way that it supports everything and cradles you. I just think it's great. Durable traction as well. Love these guys. Let me know what you guys think about these down below in the comment section. Do you own a pair? If you do, what do you think about them? Let me know your experiences down below in the comment section. If you need any more performance information, hit the link in the description box below. It'll send you over to WearTesters.com where you can find out their price, their weight, and their score. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, guys, have a good one.
What's the best herringbone ever?
Ever?
Ever.
Like ever?
Forever.
You know, that's a good question, because there's a lot of shoes with herringbone and a lot of them are like real good. Like if you throw things all the way back to Wavebone from the Adidas Superstars, the shell toes.
Okay.
I mean, those, the Blazers, same outsole, but like that, like super grippy. Like you'll break your own ankles, like on accident. Like I tripped over myself so many times wearing each of those shoes. They're awesome.
Did you get any weird looks or comments about wearing the two different colors?
A little bit. Like the very first day, everybody just kind of thought that this is how the shoes came. You know what I mean? Like they were like, what are those? Those are crazy. You know what I mean? Like it was the materials that were like, they were like, wait a minute, are you wearing two shoes? I was like, well, they're technically the same shoe, but yes, I'm wearing two different colorways. And then when they started really noticing like the midsole design and the actual colors, like pink or red, you know what I mean? Like they were kind of like, what the hell are you doing, dude? Like what?